Welcome to the Radical Success Podcast, where we focus on internal transformation to experience external results. I'm your host and coach, Doreen Rainey. Join me each week for insightful messages and powerful interviews to equip you to take bold, courageous, and radical action to live the life you want and deserve. Hey there, it is Doreen. Welcome to our latest episode. And listen, I am excited about today's topic. And so you know what? I'm just going to jump right into it. What am I talking about today? This episode is all about two powerful words that when we act on them, we have the ability to change the trajectory of our situation, to change the trajectory of our circumstance, to change the trajectory of our life. Now, you already know what the two words are based on the title of this podcast, but let me go ahead and give it to you anyway. What's our two-word topic? Get out. Yes, get out. Now, if you have been tuning into this podcast for a while, you know a little over a year and a half ago, my mom passed away. And since that time, through the grieving process, through, just missing her process, as well as staying committed and focused and engaged with my business and my other personal relationships and just all the other areas of my life, it has been challenging. And I found myself asking, what do I need to get out of to make sure I maximize this opportunity called life, to make sure that I stay focused and committed to my purpose, my calling? Where are the areas that I may have gotten off track or off kilter? And losing my mom really put me in a place where I just wanted to reevaluate. I wanted to reassess. And for those things that were working and were part of my mission and my purpose and the reason that I'm here, I wanted to make sure that I held on to those things, that I grew those things, that I stewarded those things, that I amplified those things. And then if there were some areas where, you know what, this just isn't working, and for whatever reason, I'm still a part of this thing, or I'm still associated with this person, or I'm still doing business in this way, then there is the decision that I needed to make about getting out. And so I want to talk to you today about, are there some areas in your life that you need to simply get out? Now, I love to give definitions and context to what we're talking about on these podcasts. And I think that this topic is pretty self-explanatory. So when we talk about get out, I'm looking at, where do I need to remove myself from? What situation, what circumstance, what person, what group do I need to leave? Where are the areas that I've been given my time, my energy, my resources to, that I need to separate from? And are there some places that, listen, I just need to escape? And that can be a very challenging conversation to have with yourself. Number one, to identify them. But then number two, if you are identifying some areas where you need to remove yourself, leave, escape, separate from, then you have to make that bold, courageous decision to move, to take the action, to actually get out. And so I know that this doesn't apply to everyone, but I do think that whether you think there are some areas that you need to get out of or not, that it's always good to take a moment to reevaluate. There's always a good opportunity to take an assessment. And so if it's been a while, maybe it's been a year, maybe it's been several years, maybe it's been a decade even, that you've actually consciously sat down and looked at all the areas of your life to say, are there some things in this space that I need to remove myself from? Are there some areas in this part of my life that I need to separate from? And you know what? You may do that and all the answers can come back no. But taking some time and assessing, evaluating, looking at all of the areas of your life, you may actually find that, man, yeah, I need to take a look at this. I need to evaluate, is this serving me? Is this amplifying my purpose, my goals, my mission, my vision? And if by chance you discover that the answer is no, it's not, then this is your opportunity to remove yourself. And why this is so exciting is that there is something on the other side of your get outiveness. I don't even know if that's a word, but there's something on the other side of that. And what's exciting for me is that I've discovered, as I've gone through a season of pruning, as I've gone through a season of leaving, letting go, separating from, removing myself, do you know what I found on the other side? Freedom. Freedom. Freedom to now move in the direction that makes my soul sing. Freedom to now move in the direction that really aligns with my vision, with my mission, with my big goals. And so that's what this opportunity provides for you as well. The opportunity to make sure that you're on the path to freedom. Now, I know that as you begin to think about, are there some places, are there some areas where I need to at least look at whether I need to get out? I want to share with you kind of 5 signs that it may be time to get out. And as I share these signs with you, I want you to kind of give it a litmus test with the various areas of your life that we should constantly be evaluating. And so when you think about your business, if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner, if you think about your career, if you look at your relationships, or even look at your habits and thoughts and behaviors, you can look at those areas and assign these 5 signs to see if it exists in those areas. To see if these 5 signs that I'm going to share with you show up in any of these areas. And you know, as a coach, as someone who continually works with people to help them define success for themselves, get the guts to go after it, I am definitely a proponent of self-evaluation. I am definitely a proponent of looking inward to tackle the areas that may be holding you back before looking outward to place blame on external forces, sources, people that you may think are playing the bigger role in holding yourself back. And so this is just another opportunity for you to do a little bit of self-assessing. And so here we go. Here are the 5 signs that may indicate you need to get out. The first sign is that there's a constant negative energy or vibe around this thing. And so if you think about your job and You go to this place of work and man, it just drains you when you walk in the door. You walk in there and you feel your joy, your excitement, your happiness start to deplete. You go into this place and you look at your coworkers and your team members or your staff or other executives, and you look around the room and you look at their faces and you're like, this is not good energy, right? That could be a sign that it's time to get out. Listen, when we talk about negative energy and negative vibes, maybe you look at your financial situation and oh my goodness, there is just stress and overwhelm and struggle, and you're just like, oh my gosh, you look at your financial situation and it's just negative energy, negative vibes. Now, you may be saying, okay, Doreen, but how do I get out of my finances? How do I escape from my finances? Well, it's the same as if it were your job. If there's negative energy, negative vibes, and you're looking at your job, you make the decision that I'm going to get out. And with that decision made, you now create a plan to make that decision your reality. And so this isn't about walking into your place of employment and looking at your boss, supervisor, team, staff, and looking at them and saying, all of you are negative energy. I don't like your vibes and I'm out of here right now. No, 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 no. But it's about recognizing that this place, this situation is no longer working for me. And I make the decision today that I'm going to get out. And now I'm going to go to work on my transition plan to make that decision my reality. And it's the same with your money. You can look at your money and say, you know what? This negative energy, these negative vibes, I'm making the decision that it stops today. And what would that look like? In the job situation, it's a transition plan. In your money situation, it's a financial plan. It's let me go and decide today what I can do to begin to shift the energy, to shift the vibes of me and my financial situation. And you can immediately do that. Maybe you create a budget. Maybe you contact everyone that you may owe money to and you make arrangements. Maybe you haven't done that in a while. Maybe you actually sit down and look at all of the debt that you may have and create a plan to really get out of the debt that you're in. And so that's the first sign that you may need to get out of a particular situation or circumstance. It's just constant negative energy and constant negative vibes. Another sign that you may need to separate from a particular situation or circumstance is that you have to prepare yourself to engage. You know, you think about maybe some of the friends that you have or some of the people that you hang around or some of the relationships that you're in. And every time you're going to see that person, every time you're going to hang out with a group of people, you really have to prepare yourself to engage. You got to talk yourself up. Okay, I'm not going to let so-and-so get under my skin today. Okay, I know we're all going out to dinner and he always got something to say. Let me get my mind right. Anytime you have to prepare yourself to engage, that is a glaring signal that you may need to leave or separate from that relationship, that situation, or that circumstance. Now, can you have conversations with these people and share with them why this relationship isn't working with you, why you feel like you have to prepare? And are there opportunities to redefine the relationship? Are there opportunities to make the other person aware? And they can say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. Let's see what we can do to make the relationship better and work for both of us. Are there opportunities to do that? Absolutely. But the first step, whether you're choosing to work on the relationship or leave the relationship, is that you first have to acknowledge that this is not working. The preparation I have to do to get ready to engage with you is too energy draining for me to keep going this way. So that's the second sign that you may need to get out. The third sign is that there's not respect or value or appreciation around the situation or the circumstance. You know, I think about some business relationships that I've had in the past. And while the opportunities were great, and while I believe that the business was good, there were times when I felt undervalued. There were times when I felt underappreciated. There were times when I felt like the level of respect that I deserved and that I was given, it didn't work for me. And so I had to make business decisions to get out of those business relationships. And so we have to be willing to take a stand for our own self-worth. So if you find yourself in an opportunity that could be a great opportunity, in an organization where you're enjoying the organization, in a situation where, wow, this is really good on the outside, but there's no respect, you feel undervalued, you feel underappreciated, that could be the time when you say, I need to remove myself. And listen, I will be the first to tell you that when we decide to get out in whatever situation or circumstance it is, rarely is it easy. But what I've come to realize is that hard decisions and hard choices can also be the right decision and the right choice. And so we want to be mindful that we're not taking the easy way out because it's just easier. We want to establish ourselves to live a life where we are happy, joyful, we celebrate ourselves, we engage with people who cheer us on, we engage with people that have our best interests at heart, that we take the work that we do in our jobs and our business and we enjoy it and we're able to have an impact. And for that to happen, sometimes we have to make difficult decisions that ultimately require us to, you know what I'm about to say, get out. So that's the third sign. The fourth sign you may need to get out is that your situation, your circumstance, whether it's around your business or some relationships, is that it's leading you in a direction that you ultimately don't want to go. You know, I had a friend who, has a great corporate career, great corporate job, and she was climbing the corporate ladder, and she was offered a promotion. And the promotion, oh my gosh, the increase in pay, the increase in status, the increase in the size of her office. And as she was talking about this and actually weighing this promotion opportunity, one of the things that came out of our discussion was that, yes, it's a wonderful opportunity, but it's not the direction I want my career to go in. And the direction that she really wanted her career to go in, the opportunity for that next level wasn't there at the time. And so here she is at a crossroads. Do I take the money, the job title, the status, but I'm going to be now going down a career path that doesn't really excite me, that is not really where I ultimately want to end up? Or do I pass and continue to seek out the opportunity that really aligns with the career path I want to go? It's the same thing for entrepreneurs. Maybe you get an opportunity for a consulting job, or maybe you get an opportunity for a partnership, or maybe you get an opportunity for exposure for your brand or your product. And while it is an amazing opportunity, it really isn't the direction you want your business to go. And so, do I need to separate myself? Do I need to say no? Man, these are hard, real life choices that we have to make. But ultimately, we have to decide if we want to stay the course to fulfill the purpose, to fulfill the mission that we know we're called to do, or do we want to take this slight detour, sometimes a major detour, hoping, believing that we can somehow, some way find our way back. And so if you're heading in a direction that you don't want to go, that could be a sign that it's time to get out. And then finally, the fifth sign that you may need to get out is that the situation, the circumstance, it's not aligning with your core values. And for me, this is a huge indicator. Inside of our institute, I take my clients through the Radical Success Method. It is a 7-step deep dive curriculum-based coaching process that really helps you evaluate who you are, why you think what you think, why you believe what you believe. Are your beliefs helping or hindering you? If they're hindering you, how do you overcome those beliefs so that you can get a clear vision of your purpose, your priorities, and your goals, and then get clear action steps and get in motion to make the goals your reality. And inside of that method, one of the exercises we do is identifying our 3 core values. And it's a very unique exercise. We don't just say, hey, tell us what your core values are. We take you through a process so that we can really get a soul reveal of what your core values are. And once those core values are discovered, anytime you feel anxious, anytime you feel agitated, anytime you feel frustrated, anytime you're starting to feel overwhelmed, 9 times out of 10, it's because in that particular area of your life, in that particular situation, you are in violation of your core values and it just doesn't sit well. And so if you know what your core values are, and now you're in a place where they're being agitated, where you feel out of alignment, that's a huge indicator, a red flag, a flashing red light that you may want to extract yourself from that situation. And so there you have it. Those are the 5 signs that you may need to get out. Now, I've been sharing these signs and I've been using examples around, career or business or finances or relationships. And all of those are external factors, external things that you can separate yourself from. But I also can't leave this podcast episode without reminding you that the thing that you may need to get out of, the thing that you may need to remove yourself from, could be your own habits, your own thoughts, and your own behaviors. Those could be the things that have you off course. Those could be the things that are holding you back. Those could be the things that cause you to not make as much progress as you want to make. And so I don't want to get off this episode without encouraging you to evaluate these 5 signs with your own habits, thoughts, and behaviors. So for example, the first sign, negative energy and vibes. What are your thoughts? Are you constantly telling yourself, man, this ain't gonna work out? Man, nobody supports me. I don't see a way out of this, then you're giving yourself your own negative vibes and energy, and you need to leave those vibes behind. You need to shift your mindset around that negative energy and begin to fill your mind with positive affirmations. Begin to fill your mind with the best of, right? We know what the worst situation could be. We know what's not working, but what's the best outcome? What is working? What could work? And we want to change the energy and the vibe that we have with ourselves. Maybe you need to be more respectful of you. Maybe you need to appreciate you more. We have a saying here at the Institute that, we train people how to treat us. And the way that we do that a lot of times is what they observe about how we treat ourselves. And so when you treat yourself with respect, when you value yourself, when you appreciate yourself, it causes the people around you to also rise to that same level of respect, of value, of appreciation towards you. And we have to check our habits as well. Do our habits allow us to stay in the direction of our goals and dreams? Or do our habits get us off track, get us out of alignment with our directions, with our goals and our dreams that we have? What does that look like? Maybe you see yourself running a successful business. Maybe you see yourself building your career, going to a higher level in your industry. Are your habits reflective of that? Are you marketing consistently? Are you networking? Are you getting the right skill set? Like, what habits do you have, and does it support your path to success that you say you want? If not, you have to leave those habits behind. You have to escape from yourself, your own bad habits, and begin to switch. And so it was my objective during this episode to just kind of give you a conscious interrupt. I believe that every now and then we have to consciously interrupt everything that's happening in our lives and just stop, evaluate, and adjust if necessary. And that's what this episode is calling you to do, to stop and look at your career, your business, your relationships, your money, your habits, your thoughts and behaviors, and honestly ask yourself, where do I stand in each of these areas when it comes to my energy and vibes, when it comes to having to prepare to engage, when it comes to respect and appreciation and value, when it comes to being in a place that's leading me to the life and the goals that I say I want, and how does it relate to my values? That's what this is all about. And so I, of course, would love to hear from you, your biggest aha, your biggest takeaway, if this has resonated with you, and if there are some areas where you now know you need to get out of. If so, absolutely, please share a comment down below. You can always hit me up on social. Instagram, I am at Doreen Rainey. Twitter at Doreen Rainey. Facebook at Doreen Rainey. I would absolutely love to hear from you and how this episode has impacted your decision to get out. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, be radical. Thanks for listening to the Radical Success Podcast. We would love to hear from you. Be sure to head over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Until next time, stay radical.